Stalingrad surrendered to the Red Army. That fall, the Russians recaptured Smolensk and Kiev.
ואנחנו ידענו, זה עוד יום, עוד יומיים, אוטוטו אנחנו משתחררים והולכים הביתה. אז אף אחד לא חשב ולא חשד שקבוצות של גרמנים בורחים דרך היער. אז לא היו בכלל, לא התכוננו לשום דבר.
On July 9th, 1944, a group of Nazis retreating from the front accidentally stumbled upon the Bielski base.
Now, they just walked on that camp like animals, like lions. They didn't even hide. They didn't even bend. They were straight forward and shooting. They were throwing fire like mad. They threw grenades, and they killed one of our guys. He ran out with his guts laying out of him.
היה לנו קרב קשה מאוד עם הגרמנים, ואני זוכר את זה טוב מאוד שהבחור ששכב על ידי נהרג, קיבל כדור במצח.
Nine Bielski partisans were gunned down before the Germans were overrun and forced to flee. But 4 German soldiers had been captured alive and taken back to the base.
By that time, guys were already like that. They were going already. We could see that they were going crazy.
And we were standing all around them. And everybody was going over to them and hitting them and talking to them and spitting at them and shouting and crying.
And the Germans were begging us. Begging us. It's not our fault, it's the leaders. I don't know anything about it, and I don't know anything about it. I'm innocent and innocent.
Everybody said, this is for my mother, this is for my father, this is for my brother, this is for my aunt, this is for my this and this. And we beat him to death. Why not?
All of a sudden, I see my husband comes over to them, to one German, with his rifle. And he said to him, open your mouth. He opened the mouth, and he put in his rifle into his mouth and came to the other side. And he said, you see, screaming for my mother, for my father, for my sister, for my brother, for everybody.
We were enraged. You were so thirsty for revenge, and that revenge was in you for a long time. It was what we saw, the atrocities that they did to us, to our people. So there was not enough payback.
As evening fell, the Bielski Brigade hunkered down for what would be its final night in the forest. They would awaken to a startling sight.
Sure enough, we were saved, rescued by the Russian army. Unexpected. All of a sudden, there was a caravan of Russian artillery and horse and wagon passing our quarters and saying, people, you are free. The war is over. Go home.
I mean, we were waiting for that moment. You never thought it's going to happen. And here, all of a sudden, the Germans, those big, strong Germans that came in like unbeatable. They were crawling back, and they were little rats hiding, and everybody was shaking, and I didn't do anything.
Tuvia said that the war is finished, and that we are on the way out. And then we started to walk.
It was just unbelievable. There were tears in everybody's eyes. It's hard to describe. It's a feeling like of freedom, that we survived. In spite of it all, we survived, and we're here, we're alive.
On July 10th, 1944, the Bielski brothers led a procession of Jews out from the forest. Under their leadership, more than 1,200 men, women, and children had survived.
It's the largest rescue of Jews by Jews in all of World War II.
To me, my brothers were 100 feet tall and not 6 foot tall. You're great men. Great human beings.
Their legacy is this: Today there are approximately 20,000 people alive because of what they did in the forest.
Look what developed here. My immediate family is almost 100.
I have 15 grandchildren, thanks to them.
I have 2 wonderful sons, 4 wonderful grandchildren. It's beautiful.
I myself, I have 3 generations now. I have children, I have grandchildren, I have great-grandchildren. I keep on telling them, if not Bielski, never.
Shortly after leaving the woods, Defiance-Bielski was drafted into the Red Army. In February of 1945, he was killed in battle.
This is all we know. We have a medal that we got from Russia, from the Russian government at one time. That's about it. And I have me and my children, who some people say look like my father, look like a Bielski, which is very happy to me.
Defiance-Bielski fell in love and was married in the forest. After the war, he and his wife Sonia emigrated to Israel before moving to Brooklyn, New York. He died in 1995 at the age of 83.
I saw 2 people, my mother and my father, who were just trying to live life as happy as they could after all this sadness they went through. And only late at night you could see the sadness of the death that they faced. Only at night.
After leaving the forest, Defiance-Bielski and his wife Lilka also relocated to Israel before eventually settling in Brooklyn, New York. On the occasion of Tuvia's 80th birthday, his fellow partisans honored him with a testimonial dinner. He died 5 months later and received a hero's burial in Israel.
I just have very early memories of people always coming to the house, always these big gatherings. And there were always visitors. They would come over to me and say the most incredible things to me. They would say, "Your father saved my life." You know, what does that mean to a 7-year-old? I didn't know what they were talking about. Your father is a great man. Your father did this. Your father did that. One day, they all said the same thing to me. One day you'll understand. Well, today I understand.